Magandang buhay! Welcome sa our YouTube channel, SBHC Science Department, Daligatos. Huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe sa aming channel at pindutin ang bell button upang mag-updated kayo sa bawat i-upload naming video lessons.
Bago ang lahat, ihanda ang mga sumusunod bago magsimula sa ating malayuang pag-aaral. Una, humanap ng lugar na komportable para sa pag-aaral. Pangalawa, ihanda ang module na gagamitin. Pangatlo, ihanda ang papel o notebook at ballpen na gagamitin. Pang-apat, magbasa ng tubig na malapit sa iyo upang kapag ikaw ay nauhaw, ito ay madaling kunin. Panglima, maaaring humingi ng oras sa nakatatandang kapatid o magulang o sino mang kasama sa bahay upang makasama mo sa pakikinig ng video lessons na ito. Pang-anim, tapusin ang gawain bago dumako sa susunod na aralin.
For today's lessons, our objective is to explain the advantage of high biodiversity in maintaining the stability of an ecosystem. Specifically, we have to define first biodiversity, differentiate high and low biodiversity, and for the last, to realize the importance of biodiversity. I have here with me a video clip about biodiversity. So please watch and prepare for a follow-up questions. Here is the first question. What do you feel about the video? I will give you 10 seconds to answer. If your answer is happy, thrilled, joyful, jubilant, excited, energized, euphoric, exhilarated, so that's good. And for question number 2, describe biodiversity based on the video. Timer starts now.
The biodiversity in this video, there are a lot of fishes, corals, and different aquatic organisms or species. If your answer is like this, congratulations!
I have here another video clip again. Please watch and be ready for the follow-up questions. So here is the questions for the second video. How can you describe biodiversity based on this video? I will give you 10 seconds to answer this.
The biodiversity in this video, there are few trees, bald mountains, burnt forests, and there's no animals present, and also seen here, cut logs. If your answer is like this, congratulations. And now, let us define biodiversity. Bio means life, diversity means the condition of having or being composed of differing elements.
So now, let us compare the first video and the second video that you had watched earlier. So from the two videos, which is the high and low biodiversity. So again, I will give you 10 seconds to answer. If you will choose the first video as high biodiversity and the second video is low biodiversity, so congratulations, you are correct. So what is high biodiversity? High biodiversity means there are many different types of organisms and species. Example on this first video, the tubatahari, there are different species of fish, turtle, corals, and any featured marine life. How about low biodiversity? When we say low biodiversity, is where there are few prominent species and a low number of other species within that habitat. When we say habitat, it's a place where an organism makes its home.
And now, let me show you more places that is considered have a high and low biodiversity. In terrestrial ecosystem, I have here an example of tropical rainforests, which have a high biodiversity because it has a lot of trees, plants, and any kind of terrestrial organisms. In aquatic ecosystem like this, it can sustain the food needs of the organisms here. So it is considered an ecosystem with a high biodiversity. In my example of low biodiversity, the first is Antarctica. This is the top part of the earth which is not exposed from the sun. So the area is freezing, and because of that, there are few organisms living in that place. Whereas, only few organisms can adapt the kind of environment. In the second and third example, the desert and the southern Alp glaciers, there are few organisms that can adapt this kind of environment. So therefore, few organisms can live here because of the conditions is not good.
So now, let us proceed to the advantages of high biodiversity. First one, more sustainable. When we say more sustainable, it is able to maintain the use of natural resources at a rate that the earth can renew them. It means meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Second, many species or organisms will thrive in that habitat. If there is a high biodiversity, many species or organisms will thrive in that kind of ecosystem because it has the ability to supply the needs of each different species. The third one, human animals and other organisms will benefit a lot. Humans and animals will get enough food sources. Humans promotes a better economy, more jobs, and a better distribution of wealth. The next, high chance that more organisms will survive. Having a high biodiversity is having a chance of good conditions of ecosystem. Example in food chain. If the grains is present, rat, snake, and eagle, there is a good conditions of ecosystem. If there are 4 four of the factors are present in the food chain. Then the last one, it will create continuous existence of the planet. Having a good conditions of ecosystem, it means it has a good interactions that can reproduce for more organisms.
So, if our biodiversity are more sustainable, many species or organisms will thrive in that habitat. Human, animals, and other organisms will benefit a lot. Hatches that more organisms will survive. And the last will create continued existence of the planet. We can ensure that we can have a stable ecosystem. The first disadvantage of low biodiversity is less sustainable. Obviously, it's really hard to sustain the low biodiversity, specifically with the conditions of there is a high demand of consumers over producers.
Next disadvantage of low biodiversity. Only few organisms or sometimes no organism will thrive in that habitat because there is no food there or so few animals or organisms that will thrive on that because the food is limited. The third one is only few organisms will benefit because the food is limited and sometimes consumers would become producers or we call it as survival of the fittest. Next is high chance that more organisms will not survive because the first reason is the food is limited. If the food is limited, survival is not possible. Then the last disadvantages of low biodiversity. It will create an imbalance in the ecosystem. Example in food chain. If the snake is absent in the food chain, the rat will multiply because it has no consumers. So then, they will consume a lot of grains, which will have a big effect to human food resources.
So, what can we do to conserve biodiversity as individual or as a student? First, we have to conserve water and electricity. Next, recycle or reuse clothes, paper cans, glass, and plastic bottles. Next, adopt simple lifestyle. Consume less, produce less garbage. And the last, dispose waste properly.
So now, let us discuss the importance of biodiversity. What is the importance of being diverse as a human? A diverse environment has multiple benefits for personal development. Outside of becoming accepting and more aware of other cultures, it can help smash previously held stereotypes. Diversity and inclusion breed productivity, as the ability to learn and grow from each other is exponential expanding. So what is the importance of having diverse vegetable propagation? For humans, we need different nutrients to our body to sustain our good health. So then, different vegetations produce different nutrients to have a healthy body. If you do really understand what was about our lesson for today, here are the 5 questions to answer as your quiz. So I will give you 5 minutes to answer. Timer starts now.